evening, and welcome to Sporlitiks, where sports and politics mix and mingle. I'm Stacy Johnson. Joining me tonight is Stephen, the independent thinker, Keith, the constitutional conservative, and my cousin Todd. We've got a packed show for you tonight. A youth baseball coach intervenes after ICE agents in New York City approached members of his baseball team. They were minor children during practice. Stephen, with NASCAR, President Trump threatens Russia with tariffs and boosts U.S. weapons for Ukraine as he met today with the president of the European Union. 2025 Wimbledon winners, Todd and tennis will discuss, and the administration, Trump's administration, does it again. Mass firings in the Department of Health and Human Services and the Education Department. Hassett says the White House is probing federal renovation costs as they seek to have authority to fire the Fed chair, Powell. A son of a U.S. soldier born on U.S. territory, an Army base in Germany, was deported to Jamaica. We'll talk about why that happened. It is the Major League Baseball All-Star Game going on this coming weekend, and this is why Americans are invested in uncovering the Epstein files. We'll talk about that and more if we can fit it in. First up, NASCAR with Stephen. Stephen, I don't think I could get some NASCAR coverage, some footage for you. Where was the last race?
Sonoma, California.
Or as you talk about what's going on.
Well, the Sonoma race is another road course, what they had last week in Chicago, which was a real road course, an actual road of Chicago. But this is a road course, traditional road course, and it's Shane Van Gissenberg. I said last week on the show, and the week before I said I would have told you to vote to bet on him. But I also said last week, I said it's going to be pretty much the same as it was the week before. Of course, he got the pole again, and of course, he won again. This guy is way above anybody on road courses. He is amazing to watch. Like I said last week, he could just whip his car. The way he drives his car is amazing. He's got some total control over it. Like he's holding it by his hand and it's just working like that. I've never seen anybody do a car like this in a road course. And he's either joined Jeff Gordon and wins, or he has tied him. He's tied him or gone past him, whatever it is. He is a phenom on the road course because this is the kind of racing that he did before he got to NASCAR, and these are the kind of cars that he can drive. So he's having a great time. But you know it's really funny. He has 3 wins so far, which that ties anybody else has had as much wins like Denny Hamlin or I think Larson. I think all of them have 3 wins. He has as many wins. But you know what? He's in 26th place in the points because he can't do the other tracks as well. But that's okay. He'll still be in the playoff chase. He has 3 wins. He's a great driver. And in the playoffs, there's another road course. So he has a really good chance because everybody gets bunched together. All their points get bunched together. So he's got a really good chance to do well in the playoffs. And for this young guy to come up and everything else he's going to get is a lot more experience. He is someone to watch. He is phenomenal. He is the best thing that happened to NASCAR in a long time. Good kid, good guy. And he can just drive it like he stole it. I like him for NASCAR. He's been really good. This week, I think don't quote me, but I think it's Atlanta. I know it's a 1.5 mile track. He's going to struggle a little bit, but it doesn't matter. Then your other guys going to come back. But the guys that are doing well, like William Byron, he's ahead of the points. And like I said, Larson before, these guys are really, really good, but they cannot hang with him on the road course. I've never seen anything like it in my NASCAR life. And it is phenomenal. So my hat's off to him. He's great. It's gonna be it's a great season. We're getting ready to start the playoffs in about 3 more races. So everything's kind of jumping into line, and it's the best time of the year for NASCARs right now. They're really jamming. So we're having a good time.
All right. So let me share this real quick.
Off NASCAR's annual visit to California. We have 3 exciting races this weekend up at the Sonoma Raceway,
including the Xfinity Series, which you can watch right here on Cron 4. And the first up race is tonight. It's the General Tire 200.
That's right. So let's get out there live to Will Tran up at the Sonoma Raceway with a preview.
He's our version of Brad Pitt in the race car movie, but this is the small screen.
Hey, Will.
This is definitely the small screen and the missed opportunity. You know what? You guys all should have given me stickers to put on the side of the car so we can advertise that Cron 4 is part of this in the form of on the cars and also the broadcast. And we want to show you what's going on right now. Look at that. They have the crews out there. They kicked us off the racetrack after 8 o'clock. They said, you know what, you can stay, but you can't stay here. So that's why we're on this riser. The crews, they are very busy getting the cars ready. Found out something this morning. The reason why they're lifted, a couple of reasons. One, they all, they got to fine tune it. 2, apparently they'll be coming along and inspecting the cars because we don't want anybody, and we all know sports is fair, wink, wink, that they want everybody to be up and nobody has an extra advantage. So the people who run all of this, they will be looking at the cars to make sure it's up and up. Those cars, you might also notice, no mirrors. I did this last year. Interesting. They talk through the helmet. So it's like, James, somebody to your left, James to the right, speed up, all that. It's hard to process, but these guys are pros. And then off in the distance, look at that, all those RVs. They've been here for several days. A huge event, brings in millions of dollars, and we love money coming into the Bay Area because 1, you have the ticket sales. 2, you have the RVs. 3, you have wine countries. So come for the wine, stay for the race. And 4, Northern California on display as millions of people across the country will be watching this event. And if you guys are coming down, may I suggest sunscreen, because waiting to do live shots for Cron this morning, because I've done so many live shots for other stations all over the country, I think I might have developed a couple of freckle or 2. It is warm already, guys.
They keep you looking young like Brad Pitt.
Okay, for some reason she thinks he looks like Brad Pitt.
Yeah, but Stacey, I got to warn against it. Don't ever use sunscreen. Sunscreen is poison. Never put poison on your skin.
Well, I know I was in the sun and I got a little tan, so it's hard getting back on, a video of some sort with a tan and trying to cover up your tan. You know what I mean? It's really hard to do that. You do your face sometimes. Remember, Stephen, you used to get in the sun, and I used to say all the time, Stephen, you're in the sun. You look different in the light when you're on the show. Remember that a couple summers ago?
Right.
Yeah, that happens to all of us. All right. Anything else with NASCAR before we move on to Wimbledon and Cousin Todd with tennis?
I think that's about it. Thanks,
Right,
Stacey.
Cousin Todd, tennis and Wimbledon. You want me to play the video first?
Yeah, play that.
All right, I gotta find it. I thought I had it up here for you. I'm sorry. I thought I had it for you. I don't. Sorry about that.
Okay. All right, that's okay. Let me just get into it.
Yeah, thank you.
For the women, Iga Skytech.
Can you pronounce it again?
EGA. Skytech won against Anna Samova. Anna Samova is USA. So I don't really know these two girls, but it was a good game. Iga won, and I don't know where she was ranked. And she won her match 6-0, 6-0. Can you believe it? The girl never won one. Anna never won anything.
Okay, so let me play it real quick. I was able to pull it up. Do you want me to play it?
Okay, whatever you want to do. I don't care.
Thank you. And if Aguna was on here right now, he would say something about that hat you're wearing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he's whatever.
c'est un match, je suis à terre. 6 love, 6 love, 6 love.
Iga conquers the grass and becomes a Wimbledon champion.
Now, I'm sure you would say something to the fact that Coco could beat her, right?
No, I wasn't saying anything about her. I
Oh,
was going to
Serena
talk
could beat her?
about, excuse me, I was going to go on with the game at hand and talk about the loser was Anna. Now, Anna had been injured for about a year. And yeah, she was injured for more than a year. So it was good for her. She's been on the comeback trail. So it was good for her to even get to the finals of the Wimbledon. And that was unexpected, but she lost, unfortunately, badly. But the fact that she got there, it says a lot. Now, the men were Sinner and
Alcaraz,
which I like Alcaraz. I wasn't rooting for Sinner. Though I have nothing against Sinner. I kind of like him. He's from Italy. Alcaraz is from Spain. So I wanted Alcaraz to win because I told you Alcaraz is a combination of
he's about to say something.
Federer.
Oh, and Nadal.
Federer and Nadal. Yeah. I don't know what Stacey is chomping at the bit for. Can you let me? Did you do this to the last speaker who was talking about the boring?
Hey, I bet on Skinner. I bet on Skinner. By the way, tennis has been good to me. I like Skinner.
Yeah, I knew you would somehow. Nevertheless, Sinner won that match. It was a good game. I thought Alcaraz would do better than he did, but the fact that Sinner and Alcaraz made it to the finals was like deja vu because this happened at the French Open. And Sinner had about 3 match points over Alcaraz. But Alcaraz came back to win the French Open. It was outrageous. And to be under that kind of pressure it's nerve-wracking when because French Open just finished, and he was beating Alcaraz, and he was up about 2 sets and a couple of match points, and Alcaraz pulled it out. So to come back from that and win the French Open was it was good because that was psychologically devastating to lose like that after being up so far. So, but he made a comeback and he won. And they seem like they get along. They seem like they're friends. So anyway, so it was a good tennis match. So now we look forward to the US Open. Right.
Okay, let me play a little bit of this for
The
you.
men's.
It's time now
the
for
US
the
Open on
presentation
clay?
for the gentlemen's
No.
singles final. Please
No.
welcome onto centre court Her Royal Highness the Princess of Wales, patron of the All England Lawn Tennis Club. Her Royal Highness is accompanied by Debbie Jevons, Chair of the All England Lawn Tennis Club, and Sandy Proctor, President of the Lawn Tennis Association.
Boy, she's tall.
Yep. Long drink of water.
To remind me of
First,
the first
please show
race.
your appreciation for the championship's referee, Denise Parnell. And for the chair umpire, Alison Hughes.
All right, I'm going to go a bit further. I'm sorry, I can't go through all that.
We've never spent this much time on tennis. I think it's
Now
made me a
to the
pure
runner-up
tennis
from Spain,
fan.
Carlos Alcaraz.
Doesn't she remind you of the first lady, Stephen?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. Very
Look at this
graceful.
boy is
And,
fixated on white women. Good
and she's
Lord.
got like 6-inch heels too, man. Look at her heels.
Yeah. Yeah. Very tall.
She puts me in the mind of Bruce Jenner.
She's a model.
It's like an Amazon.
Yeah.
Or what do you call them?
She puts me
And
in
the
the mind of
gentleman's
Bruce
singles
Jenner.
champion for 2025 from Italy, Yannick Sinner.
Wow. Yannick Sinner. What a name.
Okay, I'm going to stop sharing that. I think we've seen enough, but I did want to add that Sinner and Yannick Sinner and Carlos Alcaraz, they're on a tennis circuit. These guys play each other back and forth all year long, whether it's the Australian Open, the US Open, Wimbledon, Paris Open. They're playing each other all year long. Sometimes they win against each other, sometimes they don't. We got the pleasure. Todd's sister was kind enough to pay for my ticket and for Todd's ticket to the US Open for us to see. That's Todd's sister, the medical doctor who Stephen called a quack. The board
I was proved right, Stacey. I was
You were
proved
not
right.
proved right.
She was a quack. She was a quack because the information she got was wrong. She got the wrong information and they made her a quack. It's nothing against her. The people above her, the Faucis and the people around Fauci gave everybody misinformation. It's not that she was wrong. It's that she believed people that were above her. That's what's wrong. And that's what made her a quack. I don't mean it personally. I think she's a real smart person. I've talked to her, but she had misinformation. She had misinformation. That's what it was, because everything she said about COVID was
okay. All right.
Okay.
Now
everything she said.
Let me finish. I was talking.
Well, you cannot finish because now I have to say something in response to this quack.
To take up for your sister?
No, I would say this about anybody, and I think you know that.
You have to let me finish, and then you can say it.
Why didn't you say that to this quack? Why did you be quiet and allow him? So now you will be quiet and allow me.
No,
she didn't.
No. Sorry. Now, as I was saying,
you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. You will not let him trash Jenny. And
let's go back to the tape.
Listen at this. So, my point was, she didn't get her information from Dr. Fauci, dumb. She got her information from the medical board that she passed, you dumb black loogie.
No.
Are you finished now?
Yeah, I just want to say that.
I'm sure you did. So these Jenny was kind enough to buy tickets for myself and for Todd to the US Open. And we actually in person got to see Carlos Alcaraz play. And this was a few years before he won the US Open. So it was really nice to see him. He's a very powerful, he seems like a very a type of player that focuses and concentrates extremely hard at playing what he plays. So it's no surprise that he did end up winning the US Open, and that he did beat Sinner in another tournament, but this time Sinner beat him. So congratulations to both of them. They're excellent players, and we look forward to them battling it out in the next tournament, which is the U.S. Open here around Labor Day weekend in New York City. Hopefully, I'll be able to go to that. Not sure. So, anything else? Oh, Major League Baseball is having their All-Star game this weekend. Stephen, do you have any bets for the Major League Baseball? It seems like you went and got a hat, like Todd went and got a hat, Stephen.
I can't let him outdo me. I got to try to stay. I stay up at night trying to keep up with Todd. Todd's a fashion guru. You know, you can't. I'm mediocre compared to him. I don't have anybody really on this yet so far. I did the baseball home run derby. I bet on that. This big time guru that's right about 75% of the time had a guy. I said, well, yeah, I'll jump on that, and he lost. So no big deal. I got enough cushion in my bank that it's fine. But I'll look at it. I'll just take whatever looks right. I don't. Anytime anything's really all-star, I don't pay that much attention to it. But if something seems too good to be true, or something seems pretty easy, I'll jump on it, Stacey, and try to make something of it and get into it, because it can be fun. Okay, so the MLB, Major League Baseball All-Star Game, is against the National League and the American League. Like North and West. I mean, what is it? East and West for the NBA. So it's similar to two leagues. Todd, Stephen, I said, is copying off of you. He went and got a hat because you got a hat, and you look like, I think Aguna would say that you look like Run DMC and those guys back in the 90s. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he looks like Run. We can't hear you.
I was just saying I don't know who they are, but okay.
All right, thank you. We will move on. Anything else with sports before we move on?
He doesn't know Run DMC? Gosh. Where's
He's
he been?
playing. He's joking. He's joking.
I'm not.
When he just clicked off, he went to listen to him. So he knows him.
Okay.
He knows.
Let me share my screen. We're going to go straight into politics. Let me share my screen and see what President Trump had to say about Russia and tariffs.
And Congo, Africa.
Because I thought we would have had a deal 2 months ago, but it doesn't seem to get there.
President Trump announced 2 new ways to support Ukraine in its war against Russia. First, Trump proposed tariffs on Russia's trading partners, which would be an attempt to isolate Moscow and the global economy. He also said that the U.S. will sell weapons to European allies who will in turn give those weapons to Ukraine. This is a way to replenish Ukraine's stockpiles that have really been worn down after years of war. Overall, what we're seeing is a shift from Trump towards the war. He used to be much more friendly towards Vladimir Putin and much more critical to Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky. Now what we're seeing is a hardening of his position. He's grown very frustrated that Putin has not ended the war, has not agreed with his efforts that peace talks are necessary. Trump is caught in between different factions within the Republican Party. He has isolationists who do not want the U.S. to keep backing Ukraine at the level that it has been. People who are skeptical at the U.S.'s financial investment here and that this is a very costly foreign policy objective. But then there's also more moderate traditional Republicans who view Russia as a key foreign policy enemy for the United States, and they want to see the U.S. do as much as can be done to back Ukraine in its fight against Russia. Right now, what we're seeing is Trump shifting more toward the traditional view of trying to oppose Russia and oppose its plans in Europe.
Okay, so just a moment. I want to play one more clip, and then Keith, I'll have you come on and respond.
Prevent, and very easily, World War III, very easily. Before I even arrive at the Oval Office, I will have the disastrous war between Russia and Ukraine settled. It will be settled quickly.
Okay, Keith.
Oh, wow.
President has been in office now since January 20th, 2025, and the Ukraine and Russian war is ongoing. Explain what happened, why he didn't stop it.
Well, I don't even know I don't know why he even said that in the first place. I really don't.
Okay.
I mean, it's not it's not really his responsibility. I mean, it's between two other countries. So
Oh,
that's he doesn't have the authority, to really stop it. So
Yes, he
he
does.
has to be focused on American interest. But hey, that's my only comment about it. I'm glad that he
I
is
bet.
for peace. I'm glad that he's for peace and he wants the war settled. But I don't know
Yeah.
if that, I mean, he's finding out that it's not as easy as he thought. He's not the one
Oh,
to really
wow.
end it. So
Well,
I
well,
mean, that's my honest opinion.
well, Stephen, for him to side with Europe and to give weapons to Europe to help funnel to Ukraine to help against the war and give Putin basically an ultimatum, isn't that kind of inviting World War III, which he said he wants to avoid?
Oh, he's going to avoid World War III. Absolutely. What he's going to do is he's got to have to kick Putin's butt. He could have had something a long time ago if he had Zelensky. If Zelensky had went along with what he wanted to do and what Putin was going to do it, they could have done a long time ago, but they didn't do it. So Putin thinks that he can jerk Trump around. No boss is bigger than Trump. Trump is the boss of the world right now. Putin can't do anything with him. What he's going to do is slap 100% tariffs on any country that wants to buy oil from Russia. He's going to hit them with tariffs. He's going to give weapons to the Europeans. I mean, sell weapons to Europeans, and they're going to give them to Ukraine. He doesn't want to do that. He doesn't want to perpetuate war. He wants to end the war, and that's what he's going. He's going to end the war. And the war should have been ended a long time ago. But Zelensky's corrupt. Putin's corrupt. Everybody involved is corrupt. That's what the problem is. But now Trump is going to have to kick Putin's ass, and he didn't want to do it. Trump would rather be your friend and say, "Hey, let's all get rich together. Let's all go out and party. Let's have a good time." That's what Trump wants to do. Ultimately, he wants peace. He wants everybody to be happy. He wants to shake everybody's hand. He doesn't care if they've been terrorists before in these Mideastern countries. He wants to be friends with everybody. That's what Trump does. Now Trump has got to kick Putin's ass and put all these. He said he's going to give him 50 days, or he's going to put these sanctions on him that is going to destroy Russia. It's going to destroy Russia. That's what Trump does. But Trump has put it 50. That's why, when he put the 50 days, the stock market didn't go crazy. Oh no, he's threatening Putin. No, because the whole world knows that Donald Trump is in charge right now, and every country respects Donald Trump because he stands on his business like no president of the United States ever has. He is the best president we have ever had. We have some hiccups. Things don't look right. But I'll tell you what, everything he said he was going to do, he has done it already. Hey, how about your teachers? How about your teachers, the Federal Teachers Union? Where are they at, Todd? How many people just got fired? He's done everything, Todd, that he said he was going to do. And he's going to end the war, Todd.
Stephen, thank you.
Right on, Steve.
Okay. All right. Is it my
turn? The Joker laughs.
Okay. He's done everything he said he was going to do. He cut SNAP benefits from poor children, just like he said he was going to do. He cut Medicaid, just like he said he was going to. He didn't
from people who shouldn't be on it.
No.
From people who shouldn't be on it, Todd.
That's not true.
That's what he's doing. He's cleaning it up. There's people.
Okay, stop.
People are taking advantage.
Stop. It's Todd's turn. Go ahead, Cousin Todd.
Okay, that's the stupidity, but he doesn't have that to worry about because nobody he knows now is on it. So he doesn't see the effects, and he won't see the effects. When he hears about it on the news, he'll say, "That's a lie, that's a lie, that's a lie." Because, again, nobody he knows now is on it. And so people are going to be affected by this. For example, I know Stephen doesn't know anything about how Medicaid works, so I'll try and explain it. When you have a long-term illness, that's what you get on Medicaid. When you have a long-term illness, like, for example, say somebody has Alzheimer's. Well, that's not going to get better, and they're not going to go back to work. So Medicaid takes care of that. So those people will be cut. People in nursing homes, those people will be cut. Do you understand that? Hospitals will close. This is all to give a tax break to people who don't need it. For example, the deficit, which none of you are worried about the deficit all of a sudden, it's going to go up $4 trillion because of this. That's $4 trillion. But you have no problems with that. Now, Aguna does, of course, but you have no problems. Trump has the deficit through the roof. And his first time in office, he had the highest deficit of any president in the United States history. But you don't care about that because he's trying to save money. He's not trying to save money. And only idiots think that. He's spending more than he's bringing in. This is why the deficit is going up $4 trillion within 10 years. Now, back to what Trump promised. I could end that war the first day in office. What happened to that?
That's called bravado. Bravado. He'll do it. He'll do it in half a year. He'll do it before next. He'll do it before next year. You never would have stopped the war.
Or a lie.
You never would have stopped it.
That's bravado. That was a lie. I'll bring food prices down. It's the first day in office. Food prices are up. Stacey didn't get the clip that I gave her, but food prices are up. For the holidays, on every news channel, they were talking about your holiday cookouts you were going to have. Hamburger meat is up. It's up higher than it's been last year and the year before. For the past 2 years, it's up. Eggs are up.
They are not. That's a lie.
Okay. So
prices are down. Everything's down. The economy is roaring right now. The economy is excellent right now.
It's not roaring.
It is roaring.
Oh gosh, you're okay. Anyway, I'm moving on and stop cutting me off. Food prices are up, but every time he gets caught, that's a lie. That's a lie.
Let me play this. Let me play this for you, Todd.
Show some statistics. Let's see the statistics of how everything is right now.
Up the grill this 4th of July, your holiday cookout won't cost you as much as it did last year. Still, food overall prices are at near record highs. The American Farm Bureau estimates a typical cookout for about 10 people is going to be around $71, down 30 cents from last year, but it is still second highest since the Farm Bureau started a survey in 2013.
Down from last year, Todd.
And declines for pork, chips, and hamburger buns. If you are still looking for ways to celebrate, we can help. Head to 11alive.com. We have a full list of events.
Do you ever get tired of being wrong, Todd? Because I don't ever get tired of being right.
I just sent Stacey a clip. Play the clip I just sent you where they said hamburger is up. Huh? In Philadelphia, hamburger is up.
Did they ever get your trash right in Philadelphia? Did they ever get your trash right? Or are they still striking?
Yeah, they did. They did.
Stephen,
Good.
I think
Thank
it
God.
depends on what news outlet you look at.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, that's all.
But everything is a lot better with Trump in office. Everything is pointed straight up right now. We're doing great, y'all. Donald Trump is making America great again, whether you like it or not.
Great, and I just told you. Oh, this was the trick. This was the trick.
You said eggs were higher. They're not.
I don't see. Where's your video?
It's in his head. It's deep in his head. We can't see it, but it's there.
Okay. Let me move on. We'll
play
it before we get off the air. We'll play it before we get off the air.
I'll send it right now. I'm sending it to you now.
Okay.
Just sent it again. Just sent it. So, so to wrap that up, this is the trick Donald Trump did for pulling people off of and Stephen said, only foreigners, only the illegals are going to lose. No, not the illegals. People like your friends, your family, anybody who's on it, they're going to make stipulations now, work requirements.
What's wrong with that? What's not eligible for it? Medicare it needs to be solvent. Medicaid 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years down the road. If we don't get all the garbage people off of it that shouldn't be on it, then it will not be able to last for decades. What you have to do is take people who are not supposed to be on it and illegal people, anybody that's not supposed to be on it, Medicaid, Medicare, I don't care, whatever it is. If you're not eligible, you have to get kicked off. That's not the Trump team being mean. They're trying to make it efficient. Everything they do is to make the government more efficient. So it's better for all of us that are involved in it.
Thank you. I got to move on. You made your point.
He doesn't
I have to
understand
move
that,
on.
Stephen.
I know. I don't. I know.
He doesn't understand it.
Okay. We can't hear it.
Significantly downsize the federal workforce.
Oh, here it is.
A dozen unions, nonprofits, and local governments had sued, and a lower court had blocked the president from making those changes to federal agencies without congressional approval. But the Supreme Court says the lower court plans based on the administration's general plans and not on specific plans for agencies. It says it couldn't comment on the legality of those specific plans, but in general, it does believe that the executive order likely is legal. It was an unsigned order from the justices. Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson dissented.
All right.
Okay, so
NYU Law Professor Melissa Murray, Mary McCord, a former acting assistant.
You guys didn't get it?
Some breaking news from Washington. The Supreme Court says the Trump administration can carry out its plans to significantly downsize the federal workforce. More than a dozen unions, nonprofits, and local governments had sued, and a lower court had blocked the president from making those changes to federal agencies without congressional approval. But the Supreme Court says the lower court order stopped plans based on the administration's general plans and not on specific plans for agencies. It says it couldn't comment on the legality of those specific plans, but in general, it does believe that the executive order likely is legal. It was an unsigned order from the justices. Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson dissented.
All right.
Okay, so basically, this was the order where they said that President Trump could go ahead with mass firings at the Health and Human Services Agency as well as the Department of Education. And what that will mean is that.
Well, let's let them say what they think it'll mean.
Okay, what do you think it means, Stephen? Stephen, what do you think?
I think it brings it to the states where it should be, where the kids are getting their education from. It's not a whole federal thing that is just a big bureaucracy that just steals money and puts it in people's pockets. And the kids get dumber every year. Every year the kids get dumber. Okay. They don't do anything for the children. It's just it's a boondoggle. It's just money for all these people. And they put all that money back in the Democrat Party to keep the Democrat Party going. And it's one big, huge cabal. And all of them are horrible people. They're all horrible. And I'm glad it's done. And Miss McMahon, who is Vince McMahon's from the wrestling, his wife, has got everything nailed down, and she's going to make everything right. It's another win, Todd. Another win for Donald Trump, Todd. Can you stand it? Hey, Todd, are you tired of winning, brother? Are you tired of winning yet, Todd? Another win. Every day, Donald Trump gets another win on you.
We've got to go.
Thank you.
I'll say that it'll answer Todd's frustration about big government spending. Todd just got on our case about all of the debt. Well, this can help to, cut back on the spending that Todd is talking about. So Todd ought to be happy about that. Less spending for government, federal government.
Okay, Todd.
Okay. Well, now you can say, Stacey, what it's going to do. Actually, it's going to affect people that look like Stephen and Keith, poor people. Children that get food for breakfast for free at school and free lunches will no longer get free food.
Good, they'll be fed at home.
They'll be fed. Did you hear that? No, SNAP is being cut.
I haven't heard that. Is that Stacey, do you know that that's true?
Stop him from talking. Get rid of him.
Is that true?
This is the thing, Keith. SNAP is being cut. So poor people like you how are the children going to eat? Because the schools are no longer going to be able to feed you. And your parents, oh, I think he's talking. You're on mute.
Yeah, I have him muted. I have him muted so you can talk, Todd.
Oh, okay. So the point is, ignorant Keith, who is a disgrace to the human race, is saying, good, let them eat at home. What about people that can't afford to feed their children, Keith?
Okay,
How
thank
much
you.
money do you and your wife make that you can feed other people's children?
Okay, thank you.
Why aren't you feeding other people's children, Keith, since it's so easy for you? You're
He's
poor
saying you're
and
a
you know
disgrace
it.
to black people. He's calling you a disgrace
He is
to
a
black
disgrace,
people.
and so are you. Anytime
Right.
he's saying, good, let them starve.
Is
Now, they're
that? But
already
I'm gonna
cutting
check into
SNAP
it. I
benefits.
didn't know they cut out children's
Yes.
for
Oh,
giving
you
them
didn't
money.
know that,
I don't know if
dummy.
that's true or not,
Well, then
Todd. I
you're
don't know.
dumb. You're dumb. If you don't know
I'm
that,
no,
you're
I'm
dumb.
ignorant to this fact. If it's a real fact, I'm ignorant to it. That doesn't make me dumb. It doesn't make Keith dumb. We haven't heard of
Can you
it.
tell this dumb that's part of the cuts? Just
And
like
Stacey, is that
SNAP.
part of the cuts that they're not feeding these kids anymore?
I'm actually looking it up right now to share it.
And
I think
while you're looking
Todd,
it
with
up,
his record, he's probably wrong because he's
while you're looking it up,
99.9% wrong.
While you're looking it up,
You're
SNAP
always
benefits are
wrong,
being
Todd.
cut, and that helps poor children eat. That's food stamps. Why is
We're
Trump
talking about
cutting?
school lunches and school breakfasts. I don't think they've stopped
This
that,
goes
Todd.
hand in hand. Yes,
I think
it
you're
stopped
conflating
it,
things. I think
dummy.
you're making things up in your own head.
Okay. And then what happens when you find out I'm right? Are you going to say
You may
Trump
be
was
right or wrong. I don't know.
Are you going to say Trump was wrong if you find out that I'm right? What are you going
I
to say
don't
about
think that
Trump
this
then?
administration is going to try to starve kids
What
who are
are you
poor.
going to say when you find out you're wrong? What are you going to say?
Hey, Todd, I got a question
Let's
for
wait and see if
Todd.
it
Why
happens.
is it that the states are all inadequate to feed the children at their
Because
state
the
level?
states
Well, how come the
can't
parents can't feed the children?
Yeah,
ask
I mean,
Keith.
but
How
Todd,
much
If a
money
parent
does
can't
Keith?
feed a child, they need to put it up for adoption.
That
That's
doesn't make
right.
any sense. That sounds
You see how
wrong.
If a
dumb and
parent
ignorant
can't
he is?
feed their own
This is
children, they
why
need
I
to put
said
the
he was
children up
dumb
for
and
adoption.
ignorant.
why can't the states provide a safety net? Seriously,
Right.
the
Because
local
the
government.
states
May not have
can't
the monies.
afford to
Okay,
do
the
that.
states may not have the monies
Why
to
not?
afford
Just a minute. I'll
because
tell
they
you
get it
why.
from the federal government.
Because
First of all,
because the state
he
steals
just,
all the money they get
oh
and
God.
puts it
So
into fake
would you
projects.
shut up?
Okay, go
These
ahead, Cousin
idiots
Todd.
ask a question and don't want the answer.
Go
Oh, they
ahead.
just think because this is how you can tell a Trump supporter. They're dumb and ignorant. Now, first of all, you're cutting SNAP benefits. So, okay, the states have to find some money to feed these poor children. Then you're cutting Medicaid. Oh, let the states take care of it. Now find some money to insure thousands and thousands of people in your state. Let the states do it. Okay, education. Find money to pay these teachers. How much money can one state find? For example, Aguna was just talking about California. How many states California pays for? Do you know that, Stephen?
And New York, actually. New York State pays a lot of money to help other states stay afloat.
Poor Republican states.
Yes, that's true.
Oh, I didn't know that either. I didn't
gotta
know.
move on. We're running out of time.
Whew.
I just stopped listening about 5 minutes ago because
course
you don't
did,
even take a
because
breath.
only Trump is what you
I can't
hear.
even, Todd. I
Only
can't.
Trump is what you hear.
All right.
I'm going to stop the war the first day. I'm going to bring prices down the first
I'm
day.
common sense. I'm common sense, and you have none.
Some veterans tell me America abandoned them, and one says he was even deported. Speaking to us from an apartment in San Diego, David Barrio's American story
I came here to further my education.
began more than 2 decades ago and nearly 10,000 miles away.
I was born in Nairobi, Kenya.
In 1998, Barrio came to America on a student visa. While here, he says he was persuaded by an Army recruiter to enlist, promising him free school and U.S. citizenship.
I was like, okay, That's interesting.
Barrio joined, serving in the Army and eventually the Air Force Reserves.
For the love of serving the country, for the love of defending the Constitution.
But by 2007, Barrio says he was forced to leave the military after his recruiter was court-martialed and found guilty of unlawfully enlisting African national students, among them Barrio. While Army discharge papers he provided us show he was honorably discharged for an erroneous entry, Army investigative records he also provided us appear to detail how Barrio was one of dozens of Kenyan students recruited in a fraudulent enlistment scheme.
My recruiter was fraudulently recruiting internationals to meet his quota, a recruiting quota.
We reached out to the Army about the case and have not heard back. But what happened to Barrio after he left the military inspired him to talk about it publicly.
It's difficult to explain what reasoning they used to justify my deportation.
Barrio, who thought he was legally enlisted when he joined the military, was stripped of his military certification and VA card and deported back to Kenya. But not before he says he also spent a year detained in a Texas migrant detention center.
I don't know if they were trying to make me give up. I don't know if they were trying to radicalize me and make me fight the system or say bad things about the United States.
Barrio is among an unknown number of U.S. veterans who honorably served in America's armed forces, but then got deported without the American citizenship and other benefits they claim they were promised.
This problem is so big that the federal government itself doesn't even know the scope of the problem.
The rarely talked about issue highlighted by the Veterans Law Practicum at UC Berkeley in this recent report titled Broken Promises.
Despite being required to do so, they are not tracking the number of veterans they deport. There are requirements in place saying that military service is supposed to be taken into account during immigration proceedings. That rule has not been followed.
When asked for a response about deported veterans and the allegations of broken citizenship promises they face, the Department of Defense referred us to the Veterans Administration, who told us in a lengthy email they are working with the Department of Homeland Security to, quote, identify and prioritize the return of current and former U.S. military members who were removed from the United States and helping them access benefits, including immigration and naturalization assistance.
This is a veteran issue. It's not an immigration issue because we were veterans when we got deported.
In 2022, 14 years after he was deported, Barrio was allowed back into America through a new government program for deported veterans. A few months later, he finally got the U.S. citizenship he says he was promised by that recruiter decades earlier.
It was overdue. I was happy.
Today, the dad of two is going to school to become a nurse. He's also co-founder of a support group for deported veterans, hoping his story raises awareness about a problem facing some who come to this country to defend it, but are ignored when they need the saving.
Deported veterans are dying across the borders. They know about us, but when you're trying to get back the legal way, we have so many blockades, it becomes a complicated mess.
While Barrio has his legal status, he's still fighting for the GI benefits he was promised, which would help him pay for school. But despite everything he's been through, he tells me he considers himself a proud American. I'm Katie Legrone reporting.
Okay.
Okay, that's good. Now let's do this.
Easy.
Stephen and Keith. Stephen was doing like this. Get out of here. Get out of here. And
they did the right thing.
Keith was saying, I applaud him for staying in America. So let these two lovebirds fight it out.
Well,
he was deported.
I would just say that. Let me just say this: the person who made the mistake in the first place of letting if he comes into the country just to go into the military and then become a citizen,
he did not.
He came into the country. Wait a minute. I heard him. What he said.
He said he went to school.
Listen, stop,
Todd. To the military. So let me finish, and then you can comment. He came into the country to join the military so that he could become a citizen. I mean, that's better than what most people do. So he did that. But the problem was the glitch in the paperwork or whatever it was, the bureaucracy, call it what you will, the guy who recruited him promised him things and probably did not do it the right way or legal way. That's what it
Right.
sounded like to me in the first
That's
place.
right. You're
So
right, Keith.
that's
You're
what,
right. You're
yeah, so
right.
that's what caused him to be ousted. That's what caused all
Deported.
the problems. And
Yeah,
that's
Just
a
a
big
minute.
because
purpose.
he
So
was brought
he
into the
did, but
All
military.
here's
right.
where I commend him.
Thank you.
Let me just say this. I'm going to say this is what I commend the United States. We are gracious people, and you saw that everything was corrected. So now he just has to get his benefits done. But everything was correct, was
It
solved. All the
was
Yeah.
problems
not
were
When they
corrected.
kicked
corrected.
him out, they did the right thing. They kicked him out. They did the right because he
Yes,
got in the military under false conditions. The guy
right,
that got him in did it the wrong way. It wasn't his
right,
fault, but it was the guy that got him in.
And
That's
so
right.
why is
rewatch
he
the
being
tape.
punished?
Okay,
Rewatch the
thank you.
tape.
Thank you. Stop, stop, stop. I gotta play something else. Let me share my screen.
Wait. I
Again,
think you have to
Todd, you're
play that.
wrong. Again,
I
you're
think you
wrong,
have to
Todd.
play that beginning
Todd, you're wrong
again
every
so
time,
that they
brother.
will know why the man, he didn't come here to get into the military. He made that up. He never
Right.
said
No,
that.
he didn't
He
come.
said he.
Yes, he did.
Do you see
Yes, he
that? You got
did.
to play the beginning again, Stacey, because they're dumb and ignorant Trump supporters.
He didn't come in here to get into the military. That's right. Keith, you're not right about that. He didn't
That's
come in
what
here, but he
you love
did join the
her.
military. But when he joined the military, the guy was nefarious that got him into the military. That's
Exactly.
why he got in trouble. Because the guy that got him into the military got him in trouble and a lot of other
Exactly.
people. Yeah, that
Exactly.
got right. And it wasn't
And
his
so
fault.
he
It
shouldn't
wasn't
be
the
punished for
illegal
that.
guy.
Why
It
is he
wasn't the
punished?
illegal guy's
Why is
fault.
he punished for that? Why?
Because he's punished for that because he had no right to be here under those circumstances. They had to deport him,
Oh my
and they gave
God.
him the ability to get back to this country. Like he said, that's the
14 years
compassion and the
later.
love of this country that brought him back.
14
Okay,
That's
years
why
thank
we
you.
have the best country.
Thank you. I gotta move on. You guys can't go on and on and on. I have to move on. Thank you.
A coach.
It takes a minute to make a point.
As a group of ICE agents approached members of his team while they were practicing in Riverside Park. Eyewitness News reporter Sonia Rincon with the story from the Upper West Side.
The batting cages here in Riverside Park have been a little quieter in the last week. Harlem Baseball Hitting Academy founder Yeoman Wilder was coaching middle and high school students there on July 3rd when he says 6 ICE officers walked through the park past the basketball courts.
But I didn't really think too much about it. I just think, okay, they're ICE officers, because I'd seen them in Washington Heights before.
But then he says they approached the kids and started asking questions.
Where they're from, who their parents, and I just thought, whoa, this is not good.
Wilder has a master's degree in law and told them they didn't need to answer those questions.
I told my kids to walk to the back of the cages, right here. And I said, they're going to invoke the Fifth Amendment rights. They're not going to say anything.
He says one of the officers raised his voice.
That's when I was called a YouTube lawyer. And I said, no, I just know how the Constitution works.
And all of the kids, he says, are American citizens.
Their parents are, from the Dominican Republic, South America, Mexican, Africa. But they're kids who are born here. They have a 14th Amendment entitlement to live here.
We've reached out to Homeland Security to verify that ICE officers were here, but have yet to get a response. Wilder says they were armed, in uniform, with clearly labeled vests.
They look like the real thing to me. From what I've seen in Washington Heights, what I saw that day.
And he's reached out to local elected officials, like Assemblymember Linda Rosenthal, who says he was right to advise the kids.
No one has the right to take you away or to get any of your information.
I never in my life thought this was going to happen on the Upper West Side in New York City. That whole thing, until it happens to you, you're not aware, and it happened to us.
Since the incident last week, the coach says he changed their practice time, but the kids and their parents are so worried that only 2 of them have been back.
A coach for youth.
Okay.
Before you get into that, that's another promise Trump made to get rid of the illegals, violent illegals, the criminals. The criminals, remember? That's who he's going after. Not children in middle school and high school
that are playing and learning how to play baseball. We want our children to do constructive things. We want them to have after school programs. We want them to learn America's favorite pastime, baseball. We want them to exercise and learn about the game. So to have ICE officers approach 10-year-olds,
Children.
minors, 10-year-olds, I think are the wrong thing to do. They're children. They don't have any control over what their parents do. They're
Or where they
10,
came from.
11
It's
years.
a weird story, Stacy. Were their parents there, or were they?
No.
Did they run when they saw
No.
ICE?
Their
The parents weren't there because they were running when they saw ICE.
Look. See
Wait,
how
wait,
he
wait,
got
wait.
that? He got that from Fox News.
They were playing
They were
baseball.
running when they saw ICE.
They signed up to learn how to play baseball with this coach in his league, and
That they've been doing for 20 years.
And there's no parents there. Who is supervising this? Why don't they have parents there?
the coach and the coach assistants are supervising it. Just like when
And they've
any
been doing
kids
it for
after
20
school.
years.
Okay, excuse
Oh,
me.
okay.
Can I
Okay.
finish?
Okay.
Well, you have to make the point that this isn't
I have
some
to
random.
finish. I have to finish.
It is weird,
Just like-
Stacy. It is weird.
I have to finish. It's just like when you send children to school.
Okay.
The parents aren't with them. The parents aren't with the children when they're in school.
Or
The
camp.
Okay.
teachers and the
I'm saying it's weird.
and the coaches and anyone else who's has authority to be with them at the school, like Keith. Keith had authority to be with children at schools when he worked there. Their parents weren't there, right, Keith? Were the
Thank you
parents
for
there with
over
the
explaining
parents?
it to me.
Well, you talk nonstop and over.
Thank you for over
explaining it.
You over explain whatever you want.
Thank you
I
for
can
over explaining.
explain whatever I want.
Stacey, you didn't over.
I'm saying it's weird that ICE was there.
You keep saying, were the parents
right.
there? Why
I'm
weren't
saying
the
it's
parents
weird
there?
that ICE was there. Can we go on to where ICE was there, where little kids were? That's weird to me.
Okay,
That's
well,
what I'm
he
trying to
just
say,
reported-
but you just
he
keep.
just reported that they were the children.
Right, I know. I believe you. I believe you. I just think it's weird that they
That's
were
a
there. I
lie.
don't know why
That's
they
a
would do
lie.
that.
ICE wasn't there. That was
All
a
right,
lie.
okay, excuse me.
I'm not saying it was a.
Stop talking. I want to
I
talk.
don't know why.
I want to talk. Stop talking. I think it's outrageous. Keith, you were in charge of minor children at one point when you worked in the Los Angeles County School District, correct?
Yes, that's correct. And I would say it's very interesting how we could easily take a scenario like this and then all of a sudden say, oh, ICE is terrible. We need to eliminate the ICE program. I mean, they're going around taking little kids out of places. I mean, hey, that's bad. Okay, that was bad. All right, I admit that. That looked bad. But, tugging on people's emotions by bringing up these types of scenarios is not going to work. They're going to still go and do what they have to do to get the criminals. And one of the
Okay,
things
but
I want to remind you, I also want to remind you, I want to remind you of
13-year-old, a
this.
12-year-old.
Oh, okay, good.
These children weren't criminals.
I'm not disputing that. I'm saying that Trump said in the beginning, oh, not Trump, it was actually Holman that said it, and Holman was right. Holman said, if you stop us, if you prevent us from going after the real criminals
Violent
by
criminals.
not assisting us, we're going to end up in the communities. He said that.
Oh,
You remember
get
that,
out of
Stephen?
here.
Stephen,
Yeah.
didn't he say that? We're going to
No.
end
He
up in
did.
the community.
Stephen,
Hey,
help
if
me.
you're here
They're gonna
illegally,
have
you're
to
here
go after
illegally,
them.
and you got to
They're going to
go.
have to
You got
go
to
into
go.
the communities. And so they're going into the communities, and it looks bad.
But is it
Sorry,
just
looks
children,
bad.
Keith? I don't know anything about the story. They
Well,
went up to
let's
10-year-olds and
let's
started
do it.
interrogating them.
Well,
I think
let's
that's weird
do
if they
this.
did that. But I support ICE
Federal
100%.
immigration agent says he feels angry and betrayed. That's because the son is a veteran whose two brothers are also Marines. NBC4's Teddy Chang live for us in Santa Ana with the story and the response now from the Department of Homeland Security. Teddy?
Michael, the Department of Homeland Security posting on X and also sending us a detailed statement. They say Narciso Barranco, he's the landscaper you see in that video, assaulted a federal officer with his weed whacker. His family, who is actually in LA right now trying to see him at a detention center, says that's just not true, and he was just trying to defend himself.
In this widely shared
at
video,
this.
Narciso
Look at
Barranco's
this.
arrest Saturday morning, a man is heard yelling, "Why are you hitting him?" This as several immigration officers
at
pin
this.
Barranco to the ground. One officer appears to
This is an
repeatedly
older
punch
man.
Barranco in the head.
Look at
Didn't
this.
think it was right. I felt a lot of anger because
It doesn't take
Nobody
4, 5,
cares.
20-plus-pound guys to get a 5'7", 150-pound guy.
That gardener
5'7",
holding the weed
150
whacker
pounds.
is Alejandro Branco's
Nobody
father,
cares.
who he says is being held at a detention center in Los
I'm
Angeles.
so glad you're saying
Alejandro
that,
says he
Stephen.
spoke with his father
Nobody
yesterday
cares.
afternoon.
In the video, it appears his shoulder was dislocated, and now he got sprayed with the mace in his eyes at like a very close distance. And I asked him about it, and he just broke down. And he said his shoulder was hurt, like it hurt a lot. And then he said his eyes burned, and he was thirsty, he was hungry.
Alejandro says his father was working, as he does every Saturday, as a gardener at the IHOP on Ritchie and Ediger in Santa Ana when he was detained. Alejandro says his father's first concern, he asked his son to finish the landscaping job he had to leave behind.
Did he go get my truck? Did he go get the tools? Did he go talk to the guy? He's like, I still need a leaf blow the parking lot. He said, can you go do that for me, please?
Alejandro says his father is a hardworking man with no criminal history and a father of 3 sons who are all U.S. Marines.
I felt betrayed. Yes, I did feel betrayed.
Nobody cares.
It's just like, these are my people. And then my dad is also my people. Like, the community is my people. The military is my people. At the end of the day, it's like my people against my people. And I don't know, I feel hurt.
As we interviewed Alejandro, the Department of Homeland Security posted this on X, saying his father, quote, assaulted federal law enforcement with a weed whacker. Assistant Secretary Tricia McLaughlin then sent us a statement responding to our request for comment, saying in part, he then fled through a busy intersection and raised the weed whacker again at the agent. The illegal alien refused to comply every step of the way, resisting commands, fighting handcuffs, and refusing to identify himself.
I know my dad didn't attack them. I know
Of course
he
not.
didn't provoke them.
The manager of the IHOP says he knows what he saw Saturday.
He was protecting himself. Yeah, exactly. That's what I saw. But there's no attacking nobody.
Alejandro says he has this message for the Trump administration.
I know they're doing what they think is right, but I just hope that they find a place in their heart for people like my dad.
Alejandro says his father had been in touch previously with an immigration attorney to talk about the possibility of parole in place, which helps undocumented family members of the military stay here in the U.S. But he says his father worked 7 days a week and just didn't have the time and the resources to follow up before Saturday. We're live in Santa Ana. Hetty Chang, NBC.
You want to be a citizen, do it the right way. All this.
Okay, stop talking. Stop talking. You're going to stop talking while I talk. You're going to stop talking while I talk. My heart goes out to that family. This is a hard-working man.
I wasn't talking when you were talking, Stacy. You hadn't said a word.
I did. You didn't hear me.
No, you didn't. You hadn't said a word.
You didn't hear me because you were talking, so you're not going to talk over me, period. Now, as I was saying, this man works hard. He has 3 sons that are all Marines. They love America. They fight for this country, and they hated to see their father being treated like that. He works 7 days a week. There has to be some sort of way to work this out instead of going and shocking someone and, saying, hey, we're going to arrest you and put you in a detention center right now. Not for those who are law-abiding citizens. This is our roundtable. Cousin, we'll start with Keith. Then Cousin Todd, go ahead and your comment on that story.
All right. Well, I have my heart is not bleeding for these for anybody. I'll tell you why. Because why is ICE here in the first place? Why are they walking among us in the city streets?
To go after the criminals.
Let me finish.
Okay.
Why are they going through the streets of LA and in the parks of LA? Why? Because this is a sanctuary city, deemed a sanctuary city by our leaders who will not cooperate with the federal government. Therefore, they have
They're doing
to
the
come
same
in
thing
by
in
force.
Texas.
So that's it.
They're doing the same thing in Texas,
Okay, thank you. Stephen,
I don't
It's not a sanctuary city.
Now you can talk.
The last administration allowed millions of people unvetted into this country. We're going to get so many diseases because they didn't check them for diseases. What you have to do is go to port of entry and get checked for diseases and get your name written down, everything like that. They didn't do any of that. You okay? Are you people okay with millions of people coming into this country without being checked for the diseases they have? We have all kinds of diseases now because of the people they let in here because they didn't check them out. We have terrorists in this country. We have the worst people in the world in this country because of the administration that you two support, that Stacey and Todd supported. That's why we have to have ICE now to kick these people out of the country who do not belong here, Stacey and Todd. They don't belong in this country. So don't get mad at ICE. Get mad at the people that you supported that let 20 million or plus people into this country unvetted. That's who you should be mad at. We don't want to spend any money or time on this, but we have to because who you support, the people you support are trying to ruin this country. So we're trying to get the bad people out. And once we get these illegals out, we're going to get the people who support these illegals and who support the Democrat Party. And then we're kicking your ass out.
See,
okay, thank you.
Love it when you say that.
You're getting out. You're getting out. And you're getting out. Because you don't deserve to be here. You don't deserve to be in this country. Because you people are on the side of the people who invaded our country. You're on the side of the people who invaded our country. You don't deserve to be here. Keith, God bless you, Keith. God bless you, Keith. We have to put up with these heathens. These heathens.
Go ahead, cousin Todd.
Okay.
Heathens.
Is an invader. Stephen, I believe, is Irish. So
we were settlers. We were settlers, not invaders. We settled this country. We didn't invade.
You stole it from the natives, and you.
We bought it. We bought it, and we conquered it.
Blankets.
You don't know what you're.
Killed the natives. You killed them out. You came over here with your thieving selves and killed the natives. And then when you people, and I believe you're Irish, when you people came over here, they called you the new niggers. That's what they called Irish that came over here from the famine because you were starving to death over in Ireland. So you came over here begging for an opportunity. Remember, bring us your sick, bring us your tired, bring us your ugly.
No, actually, Todd, it says it on the Statue of Liberty. I got that up because that's what I wanted to talk about when it got to me. It said the famous quote is, give me, if you see it on the screen, give me tired, you're poor, you're masses,
I just said
yearning to breathe free. This is what America was asking for.
But that's when they came through New York and they came through and they got checked out. They got tested for illnesses and they got tested to see if they could come to this country. They didn't invade this country like they did under Joe Biden's administration.
He's been here for 30 years, you dumb black loogie. Joe Biden wasn't president 30 years ago, dumb.
I'm not talking about a specific case. I'm saying the last 4 years we were invaded. We had 20 million plus people invade our country and they were unvetted. This is not how to come into a country. Where they had the Statue of Liberty, Stacey, is in New York. And Ellis Island is where people used to come in through this country. And they checked them out. And they put tattoos on them. And they talked to them. And they get things done.
Go ahead, cousin Todd.
You can't invade a country.
20 million people came in under Joe Biden. This is how dumb he is. Stay off the dark web.
How much you want to bet?
Stay off the dark web.
How much you want to bet me?
People did not come in under Joe Biden, who's only been in president for 4 years.
For 4 years,
but never. Anyway, you're crazy, and you're too dumb to know you're crazy.
Right. I've been right. I've been right every time. You have not been right once, but I'm the dumb one, right?
Yes,
Todd, you haven't been right in the 12, 13 years I've known you.
You are the dumb one because you are so dumb. You think you know more than a physician, board-certified physician who studied science, but you know more than she does, you dumb, ignorant, backwards person.
I was right. right. I was right. I was right about COVID. I was right about the effing shots. I was right about everything, Todd. She was wrong about everything.
You were not right about the
Thank
shot.
you. Todd,
You
you
said-
can't, Akron, we're out of time. To our first responders in our communities, you make our lives livable. Thank you, thank you, thank you. To the women and men.
I was right.
Military.
You were
for
wrong.
all that you do in sacrificing your lives. So we are free to say, and Stephen is free to go off anytime he chooses. We are forever indebted. On behalf of Aguna, who isn't with us tonight, the voice of reason, Keith, the constitutional conservative, Stephen,
The
who left the
psychopath.
building, the independent thinker,
Oh, independent, my eyeball. Psychopath is more like it.
and my cousin Todd. I'm Stacey Johnson. Let's keep this conversation going on X, Facebook, Twitch. Like and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Sporlitiks.
Say no to vodka straight.
Todd. I lost track of where I was. Twitch. Stephanie Stallworth, the Flow Television Network. Like and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Sporlitiks. Check us out at sporlitiks.com on TikTok, and also check us out on Instagram at Sporlitiks. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next week. Oof. Obviously, Stephen's back. Good night.
Drinking again.
I didn't get the jab,
Stephen,
and the people that did not get the jab were right. I was right.
You were right, Stephen. That doctor
You were
was
never
wrong.
right.
He was wrong.
I was right.
He drank the Kool-Aid.
What they said, they were lying to us. Fauci lied to us, and Fauci lied. Fauci was the one responsible of writing everything out for the doctors below him to read. All of what they read was a lie. It wasn't your sister's fault. What she read was a lie. They lied. They're trying to kill us, Todd.
I'm gonna sing a song.
The government, the New World government is trying to kill all of us.
All right.
That's why they mandated you get shots. Those shots are not good for you, Todd. More people are dying from the shots than anything else, Todd. I know what I'm talking about. I haven't been wrong yet.
I want to sing a song.
How dare you?
And I want Keith to sing it with me. Let's sing that old Negro spiritual, Keith. Unos, dos, tres, ay Bilbo.
You know how much farther along you would be if you didn't retard yourself, Todd. Todd, if you didn't.
Ay Bilbo. Bo Dani Dra. 4, 5, 6, I will bo. Bo Dani Dra. Unos, dos, tres, I will bo. Bo Dani Dra. You get what you pay for.
Bye-bye.
99.